Hey guys and gals, it's Mr. Know-It-All here. Alright ladies and gentlemen, we're going to save you a lot of pain, suffering, and a lot of money. If you are pouring concrete or hiring somebody to pour concrete for you, and or you have someone in your family that's going to be pouring concrete, this is a must that they see this video and listen to every word. Grab a paper and pen so you can write these things down. These are the things you want in writing from your contractor. Throughout this video, you're going to see different things pop up. We're just using this as a background video for the concrete we poured ourselves. It really turned out great considering what we had before, and you can see by the pictures. Number one, let's get right to it. Ask to see the contractor's other projects, other jobs they have done. Check their reviews. Ask them who pours their ready mix and check the reviews of the ready mix company. Again, if you have a family member or fellow worker that is going to be pouring concrete, they need to see this video. Number two, ask the contractor how long will it take to do the job, barring weather, especially rain. You cannot pour concrete in the rain outside. And they may give you an excuse that, well, we got to let it dry up. Have them stick to the agreement on how long it will take. Number three, the mix that you want for your exterior is a 6-sack limestone, not a 4,000 pound mix. They'll tell you, well, 4,000 is the same. It's not the same. You want a 6-sack limestone for all exterior, no matter where you are in the United States, especially if you want a nice white concrete. Okay, we used limestone down here. We could have used regular stone. Now this concrete mix truck, you see him standing on my form. I was losing my mind, but I didn't say nothing to him. Never stand on the forms. He was a new guy. The ready mix company, we didn't check into it. Sent this new guy, first pour he's ever done. Look at him, just putting all his weight on it. Because you set your grade to those forms and the water's got to run off. Anyhow, I got to get off that. I'm losing my mind just looking at that. Number four, ask for copies of the concrete ready mix batch slips. Your contractor will wonder how you know that. Mr. Know-It-All shared it with you. I have poured in my lifetime thousands of yards of concrete. Thousands. So I know what I'm talking about. And when I say Mr. Know-It-All on this subject, I definitely have been there, done that when it comes to concrete. Now, your contractor will try to push a pump truck on you if it looks like it's a difficult pour. That's fine. Get the price locked down on how much and who's going to pay for the pump truck. The contractor may try to tell you can only have a certain mix pumped through the pump truck. That's a fallacy. It's a lie. You can do 6-sack limestone through a pump truck all day long. Reinforcement, wire. You want to make sure you ask your contractor who is going to be pulling the wire up into the concrete. As you can see what I'm doing there. I'm going to lift the wire up into the concrete. It doesn't do any good setting on the ground. Now we suggest pouring with fiber mesh and wire. Alright, that's very important. And the edges of your concrete where the vehicles enter and exit off of the slab, you want to make sure that those are poured thicker. And we say at the edge of each driveway where you enter on or you exit, you should at least have a 1 foot by 1 foot by 10 inch thick footing poured at the end of the driveway or at the exit of the driveway, with some 1/2 inch number 4 bar in it. And you tell your contractor that's what you want. You'll pay a little extra for that. It is worth it, because when you first enter onto the concrete, that weight of your vehicle is catching the end of that concrete, and that's where it'll snap off. So if it's thicker and you have some rod in it and some wire and fiber mesh, you're all good to go. Make sure you have everything in writing. Make sure the contractor is licensed. It protects you and him. But a contractor does not want someone filing a claim against their license. It keeps them honest, and it lets you know they know what they're doing, pretty much. I mean, we know some licensed contractors when we were doing concrete that still tried to cut corners. Now, ask them who is going to clean up any splatter on your house. Will they protect your house from splatter? That's an important thing, because if they don't protect it, it's on there and it's a pain to get off. If a truck gets stuck on your property, a concrete truck or a pump truck gets stuck on your property, who is responsible for the damage to your yard and or a neighbor's yard, and who is responsible for having that pulled out of there, that truck pulled out? A very important thing. Talk to your contractor about the subgrade. We suggest having some clay in your subgrade and make sure that it's compacted. You want to make sure that your contractor compacts it, and it should be compacted so hard that the compactor, vibrating compactor, bounces almost across the ground. Your concrete's only as strong as the subgrade underneath. Very important. As far as pouring on the subgrade, will the ground be wetted down, or will they use a 6mm plastic vapor barrier? You can do either one. A lot of contractors do not want to use plastic, and they do not want to use water on the subgrade because why? It takes longer for the concrete to set up. The water all has to hydrate, evaporate through the top of the concrete. It can't go down into the ground. So they'll try to avoid that, but make it a must that needs to be done. Guarantee. Get it in writing. What kind of guarantee are they going to give you on all these things? What kind of guarantee are they going to give you on the concrete finish job? What kind of guarantee are they going to give you on whether the concrete spalls, which means the top of the concrete peels off and pops off? And cracking. And when we talk about cracking, ask your contractor, will the expansion joints, the saw cut joints or hand busted joints, will it be saw cut or hand busted? And how long will they wait before they do it? We suggest no longer than 12 hours after it's been poured to soft cut the concrete. And most contractors will have a soft cut saw. All right, which means they can cut it when the concrete's still green. Because if you don't, and it starts to dry up and shrink, that's when the cracks are already started. No matter where you cut it, it's going to crack wherever it's already started to crack. Trust me, you want this saw cut joints in there. Now, if they're going to hand bust the joints in it, that's great. They do that when the concrete's being poured and laid out. They'll get down, somebody will be pulling, busting the joints into the concrete with a hand tool. A couple things I just remembered while I was sitting here. You want to make sure you ask your contractor about bird baths. Yes, bird baths. You want to tell him, you want to make sure there is no puddles on your driveway when you're all done. There's nothing worse than walking out to your new driveway and seeing these puddles of water all over the place. You can't walk out there to go get your mail in your slippers in the morning because there's bird baths all over the place. The other thing you want to make sure is that your contractor will cure and seal the concrete within 24 hours. The whole idea of cure and sealing is to protect the surface, but also it slows down the cure so that it will stay stronger. The slower you can cure concrete, the stronger it will be. Just wanted to throw that in there. Make sure that's on your list. Find out exactly how long you have to stay off the concrete. Adhere to whatever it is your contractor tells you. If he tells you 7 days to light foot travel or 28 days before you pull a vehicle on it, whatever it is, make sure you stick to that, because if it cracks in a place it's not supposed to crack, he will say, well, you drove on it too soon. So make sure you stick to that, but he has to tell you that. So that is really a lot of the things that you need to know about prior to hiring this contractor. Now, some added little thing. Will they cut the asphalt that you're pouring up to if you have an asphalt road or asphalt drive? There's nothing that looks worse than pouring your driveway or sidewalk up to a raggedy edge. When I talk about raggedy edge, I'm talking the asphalt is all nasty looking and they pour up to that, and here's this nasty edge. You got all this beautiful concrete poured. They need to saw cut the asphalt so it's a nice clean line and they can pour up to it. These are the things you need to ask your contractor. But getting those batch slips is imperative. I cannot stress this enough. They will try to fight you on it. They will try to tell you, we can't give you that or whatever. It's your concrete, all right? You need to see that. And you'll see now up north in the areas where it gets below freezing or you get snow for any length of time, you want to make sure that that batch slip says air entrained concrete. That's what keeps the top from popping and peeling off. Down south here where we're at in Florida, we don't need that. Okay, now I'm going to point out a few things in the video here. As you can see, I'm up front here, and that's the footing thing that I'm talking to you about. That is about a foot thick with rebar in it, because we have a motorhome, so we want to make sure when we pull onto that it doesn't snap and bust when we first come onto it. If you have a motorhome, you're going to be driving on it, we suggest 6 inches or more thick on the whole driveway, especially if you have a diesel pusher or something like that. So that's some of the stuff you're going to want to know about. It's really important that you sit down with your contractor, that they share with you other jobs that they've done, and you'll know by talking to them, and you'll know by reading their reviews, you'll know if they're licensed, that they take the job seriously. Share the video with other people that are going to be pouring concrete that you know about, because these are things your contractor is going to wonder, how do you know these things? All right, it's so important. Subgrade, reinforcement, it's a one-time deal, so don't cut corners. Ask them, how thick will you be pouring it? If they say, well, we pour it 3.5 inches thick, you tell them that you want it 4 inches thick, no less than 4, and more if you can. I mean, if you can go with more, that's great if you can afford it. So with that, my friends, I hope I've covered a lot of things that will save you pain and suffering, because it doesn't work after the job's done. If you didn't ask these questions, it doesn't work. And if you have, here's a little tip, if you have other areas a little pad you need poured or something like that, and they have extra concrete left over, you can ask them, hey, if you have extra concrete, can you have somebody run back there and pour that little pad or that little sidewalk? That way you're not wasting any of this liquid gold. We call it liquid gold because here in Florida, I bet you the prices went up $75 a yard since we poured this. So with that, hopefully we helped. Mr. Know-It-All, out.